Now in this video we're going to be talking about platforms for your webinar, and one of the first that you want to really consider is Citrix GoToWebinar. And Citrix GoToWebinar is considered to be the gold standard amongst webinar companies. It's the most professional, it's probably the most well recognized, and when your customers come to GoToWebinar, you will have a professional presence. You will be seen as a business. Now, GoToWebinar can be considered to be expensive, especially when you consider it versus other platforms. When you get up around 500 to 1,000 people on a call, GoToWebinar can be fairly expensive. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Now, GoToWebinar can also be used as a teleseminar, so it has some features that, at least for its price, allows you not only some flexibility, but it also allows you the security of knowing that your lines aren't going to go down. So paying a little more for a webinar line is not necessarily a bad thing, especially when you've got sales on the line. You want to have a company that is considered to be reliable, and GoToWebinar is that. GoToWebinar does require third-party software if you're going to do list building. So there is no feature for Aweber to be tied or integrated into GoToWebinar. You're going to have to either use a script with your website, or you can use a service that we're going to be showing you called Zapier that will actually register people for your webinar and your mailing list at the same time. But regardless, you are going to need software outside of what the platform offers in order to do what you need to do for your business. Now, the other platform that would be comparable to GoToWebinar would be Google Plus Hangouts. And Google Plus Hangouts is currently free, and that's one of the main benefits for it, but it's not the only one. It has social and viral advantages because it's tied to the Google Plus network. It has literally, it's woven into the fabric of all of the social posting that people do inside of Google Plus. Now, Google Plus is not as popular as Facebook, but it is a popular social network, and a lot of people use it. Business people are starting to use it more because of Hangouts. Now, one of the other benefits of using Google Plus Hangouts is that the recording that you're going to be using is automatically on YouTube. Now, you are going to have to do some post-processing with the webinar that's going to be on GoToWebinar. So, but with Google Plus Hangouts, once you have completed your webinar, once you have completed your presentation, it is already uploaded to YouTube, and your employees, your fans, your followers, they can go and watch the recording. Now, Google Plus Hangouts also requires third-party software for list building. However, the fact that people are following you on social media really lends itself to, if you don't get their name and email address, it won't be the end of the world. You still will be able to be in contact with them. So it's not as crucial that you get the name and email address, but it is something that you would have to do with a third-party piece of software if that is what you wanted to do. And of course, you will want to do that for this business model. Now, the last company that you want to look into would be Instant Teleseminar. Instant Teleseminar will allow you to do slides, but it will not allow you to do live video. So Google Plus Hangouts and GoToWebinar both allow you to do live video. However, Instant Teleseminar, all you're going to be able to do is present slides along with your audio, and you're not going to be able to share your screen. So this is a little limiting in terms of what you can offer and what you can present. However, it is much more affordable than GoToWebinar, and it is just as reliable. They have been around for well over 10 years, and they have been reliable in terms of uptime and in terms of people being able to conduct their teleseminars. So you have three very good options for you, and we'll take a look at each one of them. And of course, now we just mentioned that Instant Teleseminar was inexpensive. Now, as stated, GoToWebinar is pretty expensive. $99 a month for 100 attendees. When you go over that, it's more like 400 and then 500 for 1,000. So you really do have to know that this is going to be your business model, and you need to be doing them on a regular basis for this to be worth it. Now, what you want to do in terms of GoToWebinar, let's go inside for just a second. Now, GoToWebinar is totally customizable. You'll be able to do everything that you'll want to do. You'll be able to share your screen. You'll also be able to share a video of yourself if you're using a webcam, and it really allows for a clean, professional experience that you'll be able to offer to your customers. And of course, now what you want to do as you consider GoToWebinar is whether or not you require a professional presence for your webinars, and if they are going to matter to sales, right? So GoToWebinar does have a trial, and it would be suggested that you go through that trial to see if it is a fit for you, because once again, it is very costly. Now, once again, this is Instant Teleseminar. They are more affordable. However, they do not allow screen sharing, or the platform is not one for screen sharing. So if you have to show your screen, it's not going to be appropriate. It does allow you to present slides along with your presentation. But again, the pricing is a little more palatable than GoToMeeting, and you will be able to put forth a professional presence for those who are going to be on your call. So this is a great way for you to be able to introduce your fans and followers. And once again, now Instant Teleseminar also has a trial so that you can see if it is a fit for what it is that you will be offering. Now, once again, Google Hangouts is free. You will be able to set a test. We will be able to set a hangout for the future. Now, this is just a test hangout. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to create one so that you can see what it's like. And if you were going to set one into the future, 30 minutes, you can set them as long as you need to, and you just click the share button. And what will happen is that Google will create a page for you for your event. Now, the watch page or the event page is actually going to be, and it's going to come up here in a minute. Now, you're going to see the event page right there, and it gives you the opportunity to do some social things with it, to share it among your friends and among your followers. So it really can be an advantage to doing your hangout or doing your webinar or your presentation on Google+. It can be very viral for you and bring people into your marketing funnel and bring people to your webinar that may not have come otherwise. So Google Hangout, again, is free. Once again, now the only problem there is that obviously the quality of the video and the quality of the recording is not going to be the same as GoToWebinar. It's not necessarily going to even be the same quality audio. However, it is sufficient most of the time. And so you will find that once you get used to this medium and once you get your people used to the medium, that it can be a successful way of delivering a regular presentation or a regular webinar. Now, obviously, there are lots of other webinar companies out there. Beside GoToWebinar, there are some others for you to explore, which you can explore them. The most important aspect is what your customers will be expecting and which one will allow them to register with the least amount of difficulty, right? They can always access on their mobile device using any three of these mediums. The question is, for your target market, which one would be the most appropriate and which one will help you to sell the most and make your customer the most comfortable. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.